Okay, hey my glammy girls. So we got eyeshadows part dos. Okay, let's get into it. So we've got Natasha Denona all right here. And let's start off with Zendo. Now, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, this is going to be hard because when it comes to Natasha and Pat, I am a collector of the palettes. But this is what I will do. I'm going to tell you what I would like to declutter, but I probably won't. I would like to declutter Zendo. Zendo is by far the most underwhelming eyeshadow palette from Natasha I have ever tried. And I don't know why. It's just, the formula is not really that great in terms of like the mattes. Some of them don't blend too easily. And then the shimmers, like they're not as impactful. I think what I can say about this palette is this is a really good low maintenance, if I could say a more simplified palette. So for somebody who doesn't like a lot of like bam from their eyeshadows, they, you know, I want a lot of shimmer. I want something that, you know, is kind of more subtle. I think you would really enjoy this palette. But for me, I want Natasha's formula. I want you to give it to me, and this does it. So I'm not going to declutter it because I collect her palettes, but I would really like to declutter that one. Retro, I do like. Am I going to say this is a favorite of mine? Not like a favorite, but I do enjoy it. So I really do like the shimmers that are in this particular palette, the metallics. And the mattes blend actually pretty nicely. Not the best formulated mattes that she has come out with, but they do blend pretty nicely. So I do like Retro, and I would recommend it. Oh, one of my favorites from, this is probably my, I don't know if this is my favorite midi size, but do I love me some bronze? You can look at it and tell how much I love it. I love everything about this palette, and I know the shades are all kind of similar, but I think Natasha does eyeshadows that are in the same or similar color families very well, because you can see the distinctive differences between them, even though just kind of looking at them in the pan, they look the same. But she does well by like giving you all the different variations of a color story and making it, you know, worth your while. Glam palette. Oh, this is probably this is probably my favorite. Oh, I don't know if this is my favorite cool tone palette because I'm thinking of Tom Ford Nude Dip, and that's a cool tone one, and that one might be my #1 cool tone palette, but this is a very close second. I love everything about this one because this palette is more like neutral cool. So we've got some more warmer tones in this palette, but then of course we've got our cooler tones over here. And I mean, the formula, one of the best formulas that she has come out with. So love Glam. And we've got Sunrise. Sunrise is beautiful. This came out, 2019, and I loved it through the summer. Or was Bronze? The Bronze was last year, 2020. Love this palette, really enjoy it. I like to use this one in the summertime. I think because that's when it came out, so it just, like, I like to use it in the summertime. I love this palette. I used to not like when it first came out, I couldn't get with it. Because especially Dream, Trust, Commitment, these shades are so hard to blend if you go in with too much at one time. But if you go in with a small amount, build them up, they really do blend nicely. And y'all know I love pinks. I mean, it's no secret. I ride hard for the pink palettes. Okay, Gold is by far my favorite Natasha palette, hands down. Just every time I open this palette, parts of the palette just fall out. But the love that I have for this palette is just none other. This is the best formulated Natasha palette I have ever come across. And I think, like I said, looking at it, you're just like, okay, this is a palette full of shadows that are basically all the same, but she does such a good job of giving us so many variations of golds and tans and neutrals. And then she throws in these 4 shades that gives us the options of getting different looks instead of just going completely neutral. I love everything about Gold. I'm so sad that it's being discontinued, but it's beautiful. Then we have a Tropic, and I love this for spring. Does this not scream spring? Such a beautiful palette. Formulation is actually really nice. I'm glad that I got this one half off because I think full price, I wouldn't say it's worth the full price, but it's definitely worth it half price or even less if you can get it cheaper. But I love it for the spring. Then we have Trio Chrome. Trio Chrome, I'm going to say that I like this one better than I thought I would, because I was like, okay, this is a primarily matte pastel, kind of cool toned type of palette. And it's actually really beautiful. I love this one. More so use this one in the springtime, because it just screams like Easter, you know, like Easter springtime. But this one is a beautifully formulated palette as well. Oh, Sunset. Let me tell you, my first introduction to the brand was through this palette. I didn't buy it, but I heard about it on everybody's channel. And I love Sunset. I most definitely recommend you get this palette half off, okay? Do not pay full price for it. Formula is good, not her best one, not $125 worth, but this is a palette to have if you love these types of shades and you want it. Just get it on sale. Then you will not be disappointed, because when I first tried it, I was like, okay, so glad I didn't pay full price for you. And then Circo Loco. This palette is stunning. One of the most, this is probably the funnest palette that I would say she has come out with in terms of the color story, and the formula is amazing. So really enjoy this one because it is so colorful and fun. And let me go because Riley is eating roses. Hold on. Alrighty, so I have this eyeshadow palette, Club Nebula. This is by Kaleidos, and this was in collaboration with an influencer. I can't remember what their name is, but I've never used this eyeshadow palette, to be honest. It's really pretty. And I have tried I think it's Kaleidos, their formula, and I do like their formula. I do want to keep this one because I do want to give it a try, and I think this would be a really pretty palette for the spring. So I do want to keep it. I don't want to declutter it. Oh, let's get into some Muvas. So, you know what? I have Mothership 9 over here. Let me just, okay. So we have Utopian here. It was in my other drawer, and I don't know if I'm going to get there. We might have to break this up into 3 parts. Utopian, beautiful. I need to like re-rank my Mothership palettes because I have to factor in this one. But I really do enjoy this one. Most definitely am not getting rid of it. So we're going to go from Mothership 9 back to Mothership 1. Divine Rose 2. Love Divine Rose 2. So this was my #1 palette from Mother Pat McGrath. If you have not watched my ranking, you already know what #1 is. I love this palette because I can use both of these shades for blush. I think this is one of her best formulated Mothership eyeshadow palettes. This Trio Chrome here is just stunning. I use this shade here as a highlighter. Of course, these can be used anywhere along the face. I just love everything about this palette. It's a true, like, multi-use palette. Divine Rose 1. This was my second runner-up, or my first runner-up. This was #2 for me. I love this palette. It looks so like basic and neutral, kind of cool tone to me, but on the eyes, I have created some of the most prettiest looks that I've loved. And I'm always so impressed by this one. Riley's in here if you hear her. But love everything about this palette. So, of course, I'm keeping all my Motherships, just as FYI. Then we get Midnight Sun. Yes, I have these in order. Midnight Sun #6. Now this, I would have to say, is definitely not my most favorite Mothership palette. I know a lot of people love this one. And I like it. I do. It just doesn't like do everything for me. You know, it's cute. And it's a great everyday palette. If you like neutral looks, you're going to love it. This shade, I was expecting so much more from, and it's so much more subtle, especially to be one of her special shades. And that really disappointed me. I just wanted more. Bronze Seduction is definitely my heart because it was my first Mothership palette. And this is still one of my favorite pink shades out of all my eyeshadows that I have. Like, absolutely love it. I mean, I have so many nostalgic feelings for it. I kind of want to get another Mothership 5 to replace this one with, because the mattes, like these mattes right here, are not the easiest to blend, and I've had this one for a while, so I feel like I want to get a newer one you know, for formula reasons. Then we have Decadence. Oh, this palette is something special. You look at it, you're like, there are no special shades in here. And then you put these things on your eye. I've never seen so many like one and done shadows in one palette. Like when I say, like I have done a whole one and done look with this one and done, one and done, one and done, one and done, one and done. Literally take it, blend it into the crease, put it all over the lid, blend it out across the edges, and you got a whole eye look, hun. I'm telling you, one and done magic in a palette. Mothership 3. Look at her. Look at her. This one is something special too. Like this palette, I said in my review of it, I was like, this one is the one that's going to be like your dark, vampy, out of the box type of palette. You cannot be neutral and stay safe with this one. I mean, you can, but like if you want to pop in any of these colors, even if you go with the blacks and the browns, like any look that you create with this, if you just stick with this palette, you're going to end up like, you know, kind of dark, grungy, smoky, intense, like all the good things. Oh, Mothership 2. Now this is the everyday palette from Mother that I would recommend. Like if you want something that's everyday, it's neutral, beautiful, more simplified, but still you get to appreciate the goodness of Mother, I say go with this one. Say go with that one. Okay, turn on the lights because the sun was going down. And then last but definitely not least, Mothership 1. And this, my dear, is just amazing. I mean, this blue is worth it for me. This shade, mixing these two together, done. Amazing. Here for it. But don't underestimate this shade and this one and these beautiful cooler toned mattes. I just can't. I'm so here for it. And that's that. So that's Mothership Land, all done and complete. I was gifted this Natasha Denona brown green palette. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm so happy to have it in my collection, and it's a really beautiful formulation. So definitely want to play with it more because I haven't been able to try every shadow in this palette, but the ones that I have tried, I have thoroughly enjoyed. So most definitely keeping it. Did I already tell you I'm probably not going to declutter anything? Actually, no. Did we declutter? No, we haven't decluttered nothing yet. Okay, Cinnamon Swirl. Definitely not decluttering this one. I actually really enjoyed this one. I said I wasn't going to get it this year, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it, and so I got it. And I have really enjoyed the palette. These ones by Too Faced in the tin, they're good. They are good. Ooh, okay, our first declutter. This is the KKW palette. This is the classic one. I don't even know if I've ever tried this one. I don't know if I've ever used it. Nope, I don't think so. So, yep, gonna declutter this one. I'm gonna see if my niece wants it. I always defer to her. Soft Glam. Now, Soft Glam is like an oxymoron for me because I'm like, oh, it's just so neutral. It's so plain. And then I use it and I'm like, oh my goodness me, you're amazing. Really enjoy Soft Glam. It is definitely underestimated in my book. And I need to use it more. So I'm gonna keep it because I do enjoy it when I use it. And then I have the Carly Bible one. And I can definitely declutter this one. I bought this one. And see, here's the thing. I got this one for $14 because it was on sale and then I had a coupon. So it's like I want to declutter it because I don't use it at all. Should I declutter it? Y'all tell me if I should declutter the Carly Bible because you all kept commenting so much about how y'all loved the Huda bronzer that I decided to not throw it out. I kept it because I was like, so many of y'all keep telling me it's your favorite bronzer. So I'm going to give it another try. So should I declutter Carly Bible? Should I? Or should I keep it? You guys tell me. If you say keep it, Chelsea, give it another try, I'll keep it. Now what I'm not going to declutter is this good old Jackie Aina and Anastasia palette because this is still the best palette they have ever come out with. And I would definitely say this with all confidence. So love this one. So sorry it discontinued. And I'm also so sorry it did not get the recognition that I think it should have gotten while it was out. Here we go, Primrose by Anastasia. I really enjoy this one. I highly recommend it. I think it's beautiful. You definitely get high shine, high pigmentation. Go in with the smallest amount of product because you're going to get you'll get a lot of payoff. And some of these, I think all of these shades here, these matte shades, are pigments. So be careful when using them around the eyes. But definitely keeping it. And then we have, Amrezy. I loved this palette so much when I got it. And I kind of think I want to declutter this one. Yeah, I want to declutter it. Yeah. It was very pretty. I got a lot of good use out of it, but I don't see myself reaching for that one anymore. So we'll go ahead and declutter that one. These are the 3 palettes by Sydney Grace and Tim Talia. So definitely going to continue to keep these in my collection. This one is On the Horizon. Very beautiful color story. I love how these are inspired by kind of like the universe, the aurora lights, and the color stories are pretty too. So keeping this one too. This is Radiant Reflection. And then this last one is Quintessence. Oh, what just fell out? Oh, the black shade broke. Oh, okay. Sorry, y'all. Keeping this one too. Oh, I'm so sad that the black shade broke. I got these from Pixi. So these I just put in this section because I had no room for them. This is a cream blush and lip palette. So it was a collaboration that Pixi did with different influencers. So this is the Pixi plus, is it Louise Rowe? I have not tried this, but I'm going to keep it because I want to try it. It looks so pretty. And then this is a bronzer contour highlighter palette by, is this Promise? Yes, Pixi and Promise. And this looks really pretty too. Here's a blush and highlight palette. So this is Pixi and Denise. I haven't used any of these, so that's why I'm keeping them. And then this is Tina Young and Pixi eyeshadow palette. So definitely want to try these, give them a chance before I declutter them. Now, some palettes that I think I will declutter. I'm gonna declutter this NARS one. This was a limited edition one. This is the Ignited one from like a few Christmases ago. And oh, when I say I loved this palette, Homegirls, I loved it. But I'm gonna declutter it. Number one, it's broken. Every time I open this palette, I always have fallout because of these 2 shades. They're broken. This shade was so pretty. Oh, such a beautiful palette, but I haven't used it in like a couple years. This is the palette that I don't want to declutter solely for nostalgic reasons, because this was the first palette that I used that I said, wow, this is what good quality eyeshadow feels like. Wow, okay. And then it's been discontinued, right? And I'm like, I can't throw it away because I can never get it again. Kim was my favorite shade, obviously. And so was Violetta. And it's like, I used this palette like last year. The formula definitely is not the same. So I'm like, should I keep it? I'm going to declutter it. I loved Muse as well. Oh, but the formula is not the same. So it's like, when I do use it, I'm like, I'm going to declutter it. I know I shouldn't. But I'm like, how long can you hold on to a palette, right? I mean, I could hold on to it forever, but here is like a little makeshifter palette. So this has shades in it from Sydney Grace and Anastasia, and I don't know which one is which, but I basically created this palette with the shades that I chose. So definitely keeping this. I need to use it because these are some beautiful shades. So keeping this. And then, oh, Charlotte Tilbury Icon palette. I loved this palette. Well, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep it. This one had such a unique formula because like these shades here are not truly matte shades, but you can use them as matte shades. And then each column has like its own color story. It's such a pretty palette. Love the Icon palette. Oh, and then some Pat McGrath. So we have Rose Decadent here. Oh, Oh, this is such a pretty one. I need to give more use to this one. I haven't used this one. I can't even tell you the last time I used this one. Terrible. And oh, I remember these were like, I think these might have been the first pat palettes that I owned. Oh, how pretty this one is. This one is discontinued. I loved these 3 shades right here. Oh, and that one too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. There's a hair. I'm keeping these. I thought I might want it to declutter it, but looking at it, I'm just gonna make myself use it. How about it? And then Mothership Sublime, yeah. Now this, like, I feel like I could declutter this one, but I feel like I can't because it's Mother, so I'm not. Ooh, now this one I can declutter. This is by Fenty. And this eyeshadow palette, I did get it for half off. And it's just like such a mediocre formula. The shades are really pretty and I wanted it because I'm like, I want to own something from every category in Fenty. And I felt like the Snap Shadows had a better formula than this palette. And I decluttered the Snap Shadows, so yeah. Just, it doesn't do it for me. This Nabla palette is the Nabla Secret palette, and I loved on this one so... First of all, look at the design of the packaging. It's so pretty. I loved on this one hard. But I can do without it, so I'm going to declutter it. But the Nabla formula of eyeshadows is so good, especially the matte shades. But the shimmers don't lack either. It's a beautiful palette. And I've had this one for a couple years. I don't use it, so that's why I'm decluttering it. Ooh, Retrograde. I'm keeping it for sure. This is my favorite Huda palette. I only have 2, but still, this is my favorite one. So, love everything about it. I do only use it like in the spring, sometimes the summer. So, it's a seasonal palette for me, but my absolute favorite. And then, oh, last but not least, our dear Mel's Tiny Marvel palette. That she created with Sydney Grace, and it's beautiful. It is such a beautiful palette. The formula is just amazing. If you've ever tried Sydney Grace formulation, then you already know it's amazing. It's some of the best eyeshadows that you can own. So obviously keeping this because the formula is great, but most definitely keeping this because it is a part of Mel that we do still have here. So yes. Most definitely going to keep this one, especially because she's no longer with us. We got my other drawer. I think we might be able to declutter all my eyeshadows today. We just might. Let's go for it. Okay, so I have 3 eyeshadow palettes by Dior, and 2 of them I know for sure I'm going to keep. So this is the Early Bird eyeshadow palette. And if I'm being honest, I kind of want to declutter this one. Okay, hear me out. The formula is really nice, but I really thought I would have liked this color story better than the other one. And I should have gotten the other one versus this one because I really don't reach for this one too much. I'm going to keep it though because it is like... These shimmers are really pretty. These 2 right here. This shade is okay. It's a little light. I'm going to keep it. I wish I just would have got the other one. Now, these 2 are stunning. So, this is the more warmer toned palette in shade 469 Atelier Doré. And then this is the cooler toned one, 739 House of Dreams. Now, these are amazing. Formulation is great, and I love them. So, keeping those. My dear girl Tesla collaborated with One Click Beauty, and she chose this as her palette of choice. And it's such a beautiful palette. The formulation is actually really nice. This is a very affordable brand. And it's such a simple, but like go-to color story. Like if you love warm tone eyeshadows, you're gonna love this palette. So was definitely keeping this one. And then I have 2 palettes by Wayne Goss. So we have the Tourmaline palette, and this is gorgeous, gorgeous. This like rivals as my #1 Wayne Goss palette. And we have the Pearl palette, which Pearl was my #1 before Tourmaline. And I love it. Oh, it's such a beautiful color story. And ironically, the shades show up deeper on the eyes than they look in the pan, like especially like the matte shades. So keeping those. You guys, if you've watched any of my other videos that I've put out during Vlogmas, you know how much I love this palette and recommend it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Smoky Eyes Are Forever. Everything about this palette is just beautiful. Highly recommend it. And Patrick Ta's Major Dimensions. Oh my goodness. This was such a favorite of mine when it first came out, and it's still a favorite of mine. I think it's so beautiful. One of you all cracked me up because she's like, girl, that is the most boring neutral palette. And I'm like, but it does so much for me. Another neutral palette that I love that I think is so worth the money is Biba by Natasha. Oh my gosh. It is just a neutral lover's dreams, a neutral warm toned lover's dreams. You got a couple cool tones in here, but mostly this is a good warm toned neutral palette, and it's beautiful. Fell in love with it this year. Good old Lila. Finally got added Lila to my collection this year. So happy to have her, and I love this palette. And the formula is really great too. I think Lila is better formulated than the Sunset palette. Metropolis by Natasha, another beautiful one. It took me a minute to get Metropolis, and I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't like force myself to buy it when I couldn't, when I didn't have the money to buy it, because I think it's a palette that if you want it and you think you might like it, get it. But I don't think this is a must-have type of palette, especially if you're not going to be the one to wear colors like that. Pat McGrath, this is Celestial Divinity, and really beautiful palette. When I first saw this palette last year, I was just kind of like, eh. But, oh, I love every one of these eyeshadows in this palette, and the formula is great. Y'all all know how I feel about Celestial Odyssey. I have beat this palette up. Goodness, I can't even open it. I have beat this palette up like a dead horse. I just can't say enough how much this palette is just so beautiful and is so great. Like, oh my gosh. I think everybody should have a little Celestial Odyssey. And then can we talk about Danessa Myricks Lightworks 3 palette? I mean, can we talk? Can we talk? That's all I'm gonna say is, can we talk? Because this palette is everything. Okay, I have a couple of loose palettes. A couple of loose shadows. I want to say these are by Sydney Grace. No, these are by Colored Rain. I bought these palettes. I keep saying palettes. Single eyeshadows from Colored Rain, and I need to get another magnetic palette to put these in, but I love these shades. I think they're really beautiful, and Colored Rain's pigmentation is just like none other. It is so intense. Okay, then we get into some other single eyeshadows that I have. So this is a beautiful single eyeshadow by Suku, and this is in the shade 108. Stunning. Like, look at that duochrome effect, almost like a trio chrome, if you will. Keeping my Auric eyeshadows, I have Ego and I have Temper, and I am going to declutter these. They're okay, but they just didn't do it for me, and like, I just know I'm not ever going to use them. This is a Ego. I'm not going to use these. I'm just not. So I'm going to declutter them. I prefer Charlotte Tilbury's formulation. Much better. So I have Star Gold. The formulation is different. So these are a cream eyeshadow. Oryx, I want to say Oryx has a cream and like a powder formula. But these are really, the Charlotte Tilbury ones are really great for just one and done looks. And then I have Sunset Rose. This one's really pretty too. So these are ones that I prefer to have. So I'll keep those. And then, oh, this one, Walk of No Shame, is so stunning. Look at that. It has Of course, I have the cap one, but I love this shade. And I love the formula too. And then these by Wander Beauty, these are their Double Date Duochrome ones. So you have this beautiful shimmer topper. Oh, shoot. Ooh. And then there's a cream base to it. So you can see the pigmentation of that one. So you've got a cream base and then a shimmer topper. So I'm going to declutter this one. I didn't really care. Like, I like the color, but this shimmer topper is definitely more metallic-y and messy than this one is. This is in the shade Wink and Bay. So I'll declutter Wink and Bay. I'm going to keep this one, which is First Kiss and I Love You So Much. And then this one is really pretty. And this is Smitten and Swoon. So I'll keep these two. I have a Chantecaille eye color in Starfish. Have I tried this one? Yes, I've tried this one. I'll declutter this one. It's not as high shine as I would like for it to be, so I'll declutter that one. Oh, the two Natasha Glam Face palettes. This is the deep one, so definitely keeping this one. I'm getting that gold shade everywhere. And the light one, it's my favorite of the two. Keeping it for sure. Pat McGrath's, what did she call this? Intensifies Artistry Wand. Beautiful product. So it's basically like mixing Mayron in a pen form. So very easy to use. Very much keeping that. And then these by Danessa are just amazing. These are her Color Fix eyeshadows, or I should say Color Fix pigments. So I have Desert Rose or Dessert Rose. I think this is supposed to be Desert Rose and it's spelled wrong. Then, because I saw it on the website and it says Desert Rose on the website. Then I have this shimmer called Fantasy. This is her Color Fix foils. This is a Color Fix matte. Another Color Fix matte is in Brownie. Love this shade. Color Fix foil in Mermaid. That shade. Another Color Fix matte in Plum Wine. And then another Color Fix foil in Parade. So these, stunning. Love them. I have this eyeshadow by Lethal Cosmetics, and this is a liquid one, and this is in the shade called Cypher. This, look at this. Look at those. Look at those. Y'all, it is intense. Love it. I have this little palette by Lancome. I'm going to declutter it. I know I haven't used it, and I'm not going to. I mean, it's pretty, though. It is pretty. I'm not going to use it, though. And then I have the Master Metals Manipulator by Mario. I'm going to keep this one because it does work well, and it does work best with his metallic eyeshadows. And then a liquid eyeshadow by Sydney Grace, and this is in the shade Spiced Cider. And this, look at that, that's the shade. It is stunning on the eyes, so keeping that one. Then we have, oh, Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, I'm already tired. Okay, so this is the Rebel Luxury Palette, and I really enjoy this one. Very beautiful, kind of like army green color story. So keeping that one. Then we have Golden Goddess, and this is a gorgeous one as well. I'm pretty much confident I'm keeping all of my Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palettes. Desert Haze is her all matte one, and this was a really beautiful, like silky smooth matte formula. Gorgeous. And oh, Walk of No Shame. Oh, stunning, stunning, stunning. I'll get the rest of this out. Okay. Queen of Glow, my favorite of the quads. My absolute favorite. This is the Star Aura. I actually kind of want to declutter this one. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it in that video that one of you all gave me an idea. Products that when I was decluttering, I put them in my maybe pile because I would put this in my maybe pile. I'm going to use it and then decide if I want to declutter it. Because I kind of want to declutter it, but I feel like I need to give it try it one more time. And then Fire Rose. Oh, I don't know why she didn't bring this one back because this one was fire. Like fire. Love it. This is another one in Diva Lights. This I would put in my maybe pile, so I'm going to keep it to give it like one more fair chance before I decide if I want to declutter it. And throw this away. Vintage Vamp, I really like this one. Beautiful. It looks so similar to like Walk of No Shame, Fire Rose. Oh, they all kind of look similar. And then Pillow Talk. Good old Pillow Talk. I'm going to keep it. Who am I kidding? Okay. All right. Then we have my Tommy Fords. I know I'm going to declutter one of these for sure. Nude Dip is absolutely my favorite. I don't even need to look at this. I don't even need to confirm the name because I know this is Nude Dip. This is my most used and my most favorite Tom Ford eyeshadow palette. Hands down. Hands down. Oh, this is such a beautiful one. Which one is this? First Frost. Formulation is stunning. Color story is amazing. And I do get some very beautiful looks from this one. I don't know if it's still available or not. But if it is still available, I would most definitely recommend it. Then I have, oh, I haven't even tried this one yet. What is this one called? Virgin Orchid. Yes, I have yet to try this. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I got this one months ago. I got it from the cosmetic company outlet store, so I definitely got it on sale. And I need to try this. I can't believe I forgot that I hadn't used it yet. Okay, glad we're doing this declutter. Okay, oh, Honeymoon is such a favorite of mine. I would say Honeymoon is number 2 after Nude Dip. Beautiful, beautiful color story. And it's so warm and like kind of like sexy. Oh, this is another great one. Which one is this? Mercurial. So Mercurial is like a combination of Honeymoon and Nude Dip. I love it. Like best of both worlds. Because those are both of my favorite ones, right? Then Burnished Amber. I'm going to declutter this one. So I have come to realize that I truly enjoy the wet dry formula, which has been the Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes that we've just seen. This is not the wet dry formula. It's just, if I can say, like a regular kind of powder formula. And it's not like the formulation is bad, but it just does not compare. So I'll definitely declutter this one. And this is Photosynthesis. I'm going to declutter it as well. Once again, it's really, now this one formula is really pretty. I do enjoy this one, but I will not buy another Tom Ford palette that does not have the wet dry formula, because it just, like the wet dry formula is, in my opinion, is worth the $88. The other formulas are not. Let me just put this over here. I'm going to declutter it anyway. And then this one, yeah, African Violet. Now, African Violet was a gift to me, and African Violet is reminiscent of my sorority. So I am going to keep this one, even though it's not the wet dry formula. But that's it. All right. Then we get into Mother Cats. So we're not getting rid of any of these, I don't think. Oh, here we go. So we have Eternal Eden, by far one of my favorite pink palettes. So keeping this one.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm not. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Then we have Voyeuristic Vixen. Oh, stunning. I really enjoy this one. Keeping that. Which one is this? Oh, I forgot the name of this one, but this came out a couple holidays ago, and this is so pretty. This shade right here, revolutionary. Keeping this one. Flor Fantasia, such a beautiful, like, wintry, springy palette. So keeping this one. Love it. And this one is Interstellar Icon. Oh my gosh, can't believe I did that. This is so beautiful. Keeping this one. I really enjoy like the color stories in those palettes. Oh, I forgot this one too. Oh, I love this one. What is its name? I can't believe I forgot it. Love this one. These two shades right here are some of my favorites. I can't believe I forgot this one. Is it on here? No, it's not. Oh, why didn't she put the name on it? And which one is this? Risque Rose. This was a beautiful one. Now, where are those other eyeshadows by Mother? Oh, they're up here. So then we have Deep Space Divinity. Now, if I had to declutter these, like, I'm totally if I had to, I am doing a declutter. Bronze Borealis. She really did not have to come out with these two because she could have picked one to come out with. Because they, like these shades right here and this shade right here, they're so similar on the eyes. However, I am a Pat stan, so I'm going to keep both of them. But I wish she would have done something different for those. Okay, we're rounding the end, you guys. The last set of eyeshadow palettes I have are by Suku. And let's see. Okay, let's start with this one. So this is number 109. And this is such a beautiful one. This is their pre-winter. This was eyeshadow palette from their pre-winter collection. Love that one. I love all of my Suku ones. I really do. 105. The formulation is just so stellar. Like, the mattes blend so seamlessly. The shimmers are just divine. Oh, look at that. The smoothest shimmers you will ever find are in Suku land. This one is 136. I mean, look at that. Look at all those pinks. I know. 107. Such a beautiful, like, neutral, cool toned. And another reason why I like Suku is that they put colors together that initially you're like, are they gonna go? And they do. Like, they really fit together. And so then it helps you create more, like, unique looks, you know? 103. And I love that. I love when a palette challenges me in a way to, like, put together combinations of colors that I might not have done on my own. So that's that from Suku. And then I have some individual eyeshadows from Lethal Cosmetics that I need to put, sorry, I keep hitting the phone. I need to put these in a palette with my Color Rain ones. This is Nymph right here. These shadows are so intense. Like, you want to talk about intense pigment, Lethal Cosmetics is one to check out. This particular shade is called Euphoria. Stunning. This is the matte shade in Pilgrim. And then here is another shimmer in the shade Symbiosis. Intense and beautiful. Guys, those are all my eyeshadows. So we're just gonna pan over what I'm keeping. Sorry for the glare. So keeping all of these, it's a mess, guys. So just be prepared. We're gonna keep these right here, those back there, and those on the windowsill. And then we're gonna declutter the few that we have here and the few that we have here. And guys, I think, you know, for the most part, we have done well, okay? Because I have kept the ones that I truly loved. There we go, we're focused. Look at today. This is how today has gone for me. Anywho, guys, thank you so much for watching. We have finished off eyeshadows. We've got a few more categories to declutter before we've decluttered all my makeup, so stay tuned for more declutters. But thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. And if you have not yet subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you, yes, you, in my very next video. Bye, guys.